Hi there, dear viewers. Welcome to today's video. This is the Living Alchemists channel with me, Vlad. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the two kinds of fears that we normally face throughout our lives. And those are legitimate versus illegitimate fears. So I'm going to give you some example of these, and then I'm going to move on with a video on how to deal with them as well. So examples of legitimate fears are things like fears of snakes, fears of spiders, or fears of cataclysms, or events that are very dangerous or even deadly. Okay, so these are very understandable situations that most people don't put themselves into, which is of course very normal. And so what characterizes this kind of fear is that it doesn't change very much. Okay, it's very much constant. Okay, the same thing can be said about how we respond to this kind of fear, to the legitimate one. And so our response doesn't change very much, even if we're faced with that kind of fear. So we live through them at various points in our lives, and then we gotta move on with whatever it is that we are meant to do and things that are relevant to us. And so this kind of fear, the legitimate one, is not meant to be transcended. Okay, this is meant to be experienced at various stages in our lives, but without having to go through it, to work your way through it. Okay, with the exceptions of some people out there that are willing to do that. So the second category is non-legitimate fears. So things like fear of public speaking, fear of speaking in front of camera, fear of expressing our emotions, fear of driving a business or starting a business. Okay, there are many other examples. And so this is the category of fears that needs to be transcended. Okay, we are meant to go through these fears and realize that there is nothing to be afraid of. And this is also part of the illusion of non-legitimate fears, is that they appear non-changeable or difficult to change. And so when something appears to be difficult to change or unchangeable, it is about how we relate to that kind of situation, to that kind of fear. And so the key word here is association. What do I associate, say, public speaking with? Okay, well, normally people that are afraid of public speaking associate that with, shame or being ridiculed or laughed at, or this fear of what other people think of me. And I've had this fear for a very long time. Okay, and I've got my ways of dealing with it. I'm gonna make a video specifically on the topic of public speaking and how to deal with it, but I'm gonna keep this video more general. Okay. And so non-legitimate fears are meant to be transcended. And so to give you another personal example of mine, I've had this fear for many years of talking about the topics that I'm talking on this channel. Okay, things like, optimal health, spirituality, meditation, even things related to extraterrestrial beings, breathing exercises and things like that. So a vast array of topics that I've been afraid of talking about, I've now started to conquer more and more. So hence the creation of this channel. And so looking back at how I've began to transcend that kind of fear, it started with me expressing my opinions and my thoughts in writing form only. Okay, so these would be posts, comments, answers, questions on just a couple of forums on Facebook. Actually, it was just mainly one forum, and every now and then a second other forum. So it started in written form, and my posts normally receive, are received very positively, and so that resulted in me gaining confidence in myself and the things that I was talking about, and eventually that led me to creating this channel where I'm now expressing myself verbally in front of a camera, of course. And to take things to the next level, I intend to teach these practices and these methods to live audiences. Okay, so this will transcend into live events, public speaking and trainings and things like that. So this is a personal example of mine of how I gradually moved from a certain kind of fear into dissolving it, and I've done that in a rather smooth way, as opposed to just going straight into it, just like taking the plunge. So you have that option as well. You can take the plunge and dive straight into a fear, or you can do it incrementally. So as I've now conquered this fear of mine to a large extent, by gradually and incrementally moving outside of my comfort zone more and more, I'm now applying these methods and practices to other aspects of my life. Things like romantic relationships, sexuality, artistic expression, talking to strangers, and many, many other things. And so when you practice reality creation methods like transurfing or Neville Goddard or the law of vibration and things like that, you see yourself as a creator of reality, not as a slave. Okay? So I see myself as a creator of my reality, not a slave, not a person that needs to work hard or fight with reality, or it's this classic example of blood, sweat and tears. Okay, that just doesn't exist in my reality anymore. Yes, there are times when I need to increase my effort levels. I need to push myself, but it for the most part I do things effortlessly. Okay, this is a typical mindset of a reality creator. So when you operate from within the reality creator mindset, you need to become the observer of reality. Okay, because when you observe things, you have then access to new insights, deeper insights, and even other aspects of reality. Now, you're not going to be an observer 100% of the time, but you will be more in that role than you've been in the past. So you are then able to tune in from the observer state to the participant state, and vice versa. Another way of putting it is that you have to pull out from duality. Okay, and duality is that which we define as positive and negative. So the more you release things like judgment, resentment, anger, need for control, and things like that, the more free you become. And that is the same thing as becoming more of an observer of reality. And so that inner freedom will give you more choice. Okay, that's what it means to have freedom of choice, really. So this has been my video on understanding the differences between fears that don't need to be transcended and fears that are meant to be transcended, so that we can grow as beings, because that's what evolution is all about, right? So again, we're not here to fight with reality or control reality. Let the world be, and you will gain more freedom of choice. Because remember, everybody is at different levels of consciousness, whether you call them lower states of consciousness or higher. It's all part of a greater game of existence, which was initiated by God, aka you, because I think we're part of God. So when you let the world be, then you gain more inner freedom, and from within that state of freedom you can then choose your reality, aka you become a creator of reality and not a slave that needs to fight with things and control things and stuff like that. So I hope you like my video. Please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and share it with other people. And I'm looking forward to see you on my next video. Until then, stay inspired and stay awake. Bye.